Okay, guys, you're welcome to the part 2 of our calculator project. In the first video, we're able to create the HTML, and this is what we've created so far. So we need to start creating the JavaScript. Like I said earlier, this project is going to be built using HTML and JavaScript. And later on, we'll style it, make it beautiful and attractive using CSS. Inside this our calculator directory, so I'm going to click here again, and then I'll call this calculator dot JS for JavaScript. So this goes to tell us that this is JavaScript file that we are creating. All right, so I want to make sure that all of them are inside the same directory. Okay, I'll copy path again, come here, Control V to paste, and here we are. So this is our calculator.js file. I'll minimize this. Okay, we want our calculator to function. When we put in the first number, we choose an operator, and then we put the second number, we press calculate. It will show us answer here. But before we go on to write our JavaScript code, we need to establish a relationship between these two files, the HTML and the JavaScript. And to establish that relationship, we need to come down immediately before this body element. Okay, I'm going to create space like this. I'll type scripts. Okay, scripts. I'll choose this script : source, and I'll put this name there. I'll put calculator.js. Okay, like this. I'm going to save, and this has established a connection between the HTML file and the JavaScript file. Then let's get started. I want to first of all grab all the input fields that we have here. We have two input fields for the numbers and one which is a drop down for the operator. But all these are going to reside in a function. So I'm going to put the function. Like we already know, a function is a block of code, all right, that executes or that performs a specific task. All right, so whatever that is in the block of code is going to perform what it is designed to perform whenever it is called on. So for you to write a function in JavaScript, you start with the keyword function and you give it a function name. So in this case, I'm going to call it calculator. Then I open my bracket, I leave it empty, then curly braces. Okay, inside this function, I'm going to get the first number. Where is it? I'm going to get this first number by the ID num1. I'm going to get the operator by the ID operator, and I'm going to get the second number by the ID num2. So let's see how it goes. We're going to create a variable with the keyword var, and I'll call this num1. I'll pass it to. So at this point, it's important that we note that our calculator, we don't want to limit it to maybe calculating only whole numbers. It can be decimal numbers, it can be whole numbers. So we're going to wrap this element in a pass float method. This is a pass float method. I open this brackets, then inside it I'm going to put documents dot get element by ID. All right, the ID of the first number is num1. So I'm going to open my quotes and I put num1. All right, I come out dot value. Why am I putting dot value? Is because what we need is the value that you will type in this place. So whatever you type in here is what we are looking for, and that is captured with this value. Then that is for the first number. The second one, that is for the operator. Now we are going to create another variable and we call it operator, and we pass it to documents dot get element by ID, the same way we did, and the ID in this case is operator. And all right, so we're going to do the same thing, and dot value. Okay, and all right, the third one, which is for the number 2, we're going to create a variable, call it num2, and we pass it to the pass float again. Then we're going to get the document from HTML, document to get element by ID, and this time the ID is num2. And we don't forget to put dot value so that we get whatever we're passing to the second input field for number 2. Now we have grabbed all these 3 elements from the HTML, which is this, and this. So we now want to create a variable that is going to store the result for us. So in this case, I'm going to call it results. So this is a variable that has not been initialized. We just declared it. It's not storing anything for now. Then we're going to make we're going to make use of a conditional statement. Yes, a conditional statement that will help us to check if what we want to do is addition, subtraction, like you have it here. If it's addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. So we choose among them, and it is the conditional statement that will evaluate to know which one that you want to perform. And what we want to use here is switch. Okay, yes, switch instead of if statements. And what is it switching on? It is switching on the operators here. So you want to switch on the operators to check which one we are using. So we're now going to create different cases that represent these 4 mathematical operations. So the first case is going to be for addition. I'm going to create a case for addition. And then if it is addition, sorry, there's a mistake here. So if it is addition that we want to perform, we want to say, at this point, we're going to say the result, which is the variable we created here. What will be stored in the result should be num1 plus num2. Okay. When we do that, we put break. This break will tell JavaScript, okay, once it is addition and you have performed the addition, oh yeah, stop. All right, but if we don't put break, it will continue executing other codes underneath. So the second case, I don't want to do copy and paste so that you don't follow me and make mistake, okay? So case again, the second case now is going to be for subtraction. And for this subtraction, if it's subtraction, the result is going to be num1 minus num2. We put break as well. Then, sorry, the third case is going to be for multiplication. And if that is the case, the result should be num1 multiplied by num2. Then we put break. Then case 4 should be for division. So if it is division that we want to do, the result should be num1 divided by num2. Oh, you see I've made a mistake already. I did not put the equal sign here. Okay, I'm going to put this. I'll put break here. Okay, these are the 4 operations that our calculator will be able to perform, but we need to put another thing underneath. So if the JavaScript switch through all these cases to check the operation we want to carry out, and it does not see the operation here, then there should be a default response. So here we put default, and this default is going to be, that is, if the answer is not among the 4 operations, it's going to be let's just call it invalid operation. Yes. Okay, I like to put this. Oops. Okay, that I'll close it semicolon and then I'll put break. Good. Then I save, then I refresh. Up to this point, nothing is going to happen. All right, nothing is going to happen because we are not done yet. Okay, let's come down here. Remember, this is a conditional statement, a switch in JavaScript, and at the end of the switch, now let us make use of this h1 with ID answer that I created before. So here I'm going to say document dot get element by ID. So I'm going to grab that element, the h1 element with the ID answer. I'm going to pass it dot text contents. All right, this is going to return as a string to the browser. So we're going to pass here. Let me concatenate a string with the result. So here I'm going to say your answer is, put colon and I put space. I will concatenate this with the result. So whatever the result is going to be printed on the screen. Don't forget, I'll save. But then if I click, I type in here 33 plus 33, I click, nothing is going to happen. Okay, why? Because we are clicking a button. This button here, the button is not recognizing what is going on yet. So there's one thing that we need to fix here in the HTML to this button. So we're going to connect this button to this function using the function name, then we're good to go. So here I'll make a space. I'll use an onclick event that will make the button to listen. It's going to be listening to what is going on. Okay, if you click on the button is going to listen to what is going on and then execute what is in that function block. So our function name is calculator. Okay, make sure you don't make mistake in the typing, and I exactly like this. Where is that? Okay, so because the function, you type the function name and you open empty bracket, and then I'm going to save. Then let me click. I have to refresh this page. Then I put 33 plus 33. Wonderful. Your answer is 66. Yes, because here I use concatenation, which you already know in Scratch that is join. All right, so your answer is result. So the browser is going to evaluate what we have here. The operators we're using is addition. So it is performing number 1 plus number 2 and it's passing it to this variable result, and whatever is in that variable result is what we want to pass to the screen. That's what we have here. So that's why you are seeing 66 here. So if I change this to subtraction, it's going to give me 0. If I change it to multiplication, turn 89. If I change it to division, 1. Wow. All right, so if you have followed this video up to this point, congratulations, because you can create a calculator. And there is something that I want to say here. I know this is not the structure of a calculator. I know calculators have buttons and stuff like that, but when you get this concept, then gradually we're going to make that complex calculator with buttons. But first you need to understand the basics, how JavaScript works. Before we did that with Python, this is the Python that we did. So if we get the basic knowledge, the basic understanding, then we can go ahead to create the complex one. All right. Before I go off this video, I want to do something that will trigger this oops. Yes, I want to do something that will trigger the oops, and for me to do that, I'll come to the HTML here, and on the drop down here, I would like to add the first option. Okay, the first option I want to have here is, let me just put none. Yes. Okay. So it means if you did not select any operator, then it's going to return oops. But when you click, then you choose. So here I put 3322. Oh. That is it. It said oops. Invalid operations. Oops. I love this word. Oops. All right, but then if you choose any valid operator, boom, it's going to give you your answer right away. If you make mistake and you choose anyone, oops. All right, guys, thanks for watching. If you have any question, you feel free to ask. In the next video, we're going to make this look beautiful. For me, it is not beautiful right now, so we're going to make it look beautiful and attractive. Watch out for that. For the meantime, you have to work with me up to this point before you can proceed to the third video. Bye.